Hello and welcome to another edition of Big Centre TV's weekly film show, shining the spotlight on local movie makers as well as some of the big films showing at West Midlands cinemas. Coming up this week, we'll be finding out what happened when Aldridge Community Cinema hosted the world premiere of a fan film which was more than 15 years in the making, and we'll be reviewing some of the week's big new releases. First though, award-winning Birmingham journalist Adam Smith became an internet sensation back in 2008 when his drunken summary of the Barack Obama election campaign was broadcast on YouTube. 7 years on, his story is now the subject of a short film made by Green Door Films and Jolly Demon Productions. Before we meet Adam and one of the directors, Matt Reynolds, let's have a quick reminder of the moment Adam will never forget and barely remember.
WTOP News Time 2:36. Oh, the things people do when they're drunk. A video has surfaced on the internet showing a British newspaper reporter named Adam Smith, or is it Steve Zacaranda, filing a story from Miami on Obama's victory.
The trouble is the readers of the Birmingham Mail are going to get my version of history. And I'm just a little bit pissed.
Pissed is British for drunk, in case you didn't know. But, oh, are they getting his version of history, really?
I'm a hard news journalist, which my readers, when they read my copy, which he cut and pasted off the BBC.
In case you missed it, the reporter claimed to be plagiarizing the BBC. The video ends like this.
My name is Adam Smith, also known as Steve Zacaranda, who has just resigned from the Birmingham Mail, the Birmingham Post and the Birmingham Sunday Mercury to set up my own magazine.
So Adam and Matt, welcome to Big Centre TV. Adam, I should say, two-time Midland Weekly Journalist of the Year, so obviously it's not done too badly.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, no, it was the morning after. I didn't think I had a career left, but 8 years on, it all kind of worked out as things do, I suppose. I like to say that cream rises to the top in the end.
How did you end up being out in America in the first place, covering the Obama election campaign?
It was purely a personal journey. It was basically, I was sitting on a bus in Smethwick, had a few cans. I started reading. I saw Barack Obama after a speech after the 2004 election, and I always kept my eyes on him. And then I think I was reading a paper on a number 80 something in Smethwick, and just thought, you know what, I'm going to go over there and volunteer. And it kind of, as it approached, I'd actually got myself into quite a high level of the Obama campaign, because through actually Tom Watson, who's now deputy leader, I'd managed to get the Miss America 2000 and something into Parliament, and she knew somebody of the Obama election. So, but when it came down to it, I thought, you know what, I don't particularly want to let down like somebody like Obama, so I just went over and volunteered as just somebody knocking doors, just turned up to Miami and just volunteered and just turned up by myself. I managed to blag a few free hotels as being a travel journalist, and worked quite hard to get for that momentous night, really.
And that piece of that clip we just saw was the end of the momentous night when Obama had been elected. Yeah. So, and what was it? A mate of yours that you'd been out on the town with that just filmed that one?
I'd said to the Birmingham Mail that I'd send some copy back, because I did want the Adam Smith in Miami front page, even though I wasn't getting paid for it. But then after such a momentous night, I obviously got drunk with all my friends, and then a Dutch woman who was also covering the election. She was an Emmy award-winning journalist. She just poked a camera in front of me and just said, "What are you doing?" And I was just talked. And after that, I managed to, as I say, I kind of played up to the camera. But I said to her, put it on YouTube. But I forgot all about it the next morning.
So who's Steve Zacaranda then?
Steve Zacaranda is myself, basically as a name called Adam Smith. If you put me in Google, I'm coming way down the list. But Steve Zacaranda is a name that I've kind of a byline which I've used since I've been a kid, really. So that was the name to try and get myself over there. So it's Steve Zacaranda, so people would know exactly that it's me.
So it's a good thing and a bad thing when you've got something like that. How many people watched the video in the end on YouTube?
Well, it was in the end, because the way it being a YouTube sensation, it's not how many people watch it over a certain amount of time, it's how quickly people watch it. So I think it was like 400,000 in 3 days, but then suddenly I was on Good Morning America, so that's like what, 20, 30 million people. Then BBC, Sky and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, It was pretty weird the next morning, realising, just because obviously we were 5 hours behind in America, so when I'd woken up it was 7 o'clock in England, so Genie was out the bottle, and it was basically, I've got to watch this video, what did I say?
So Matt, where does you're and a mate of yours, Lee Kennedy, who co-directed this film then. How did your involvement with Adam start then?
It was through Lee. Lee worked with Adam at the Birmingham Mail. And Lee had told me countlessly about this story, about this guy who went over to America and created this massive, this massive news story. And we both felt it was really interesting. We really wanted to do something. And that's kind of how we got involved. So we had a chat with Adam and we said, you know, we'd really want to see what you're doing now and what your plans are. And we'd love to talk about what happened and just get a feel for what you're doing now after all this happened.
And what did you think when the approach came?
I've always had a sneaking feeling I wanted to be a star of a documentary, so I've had 2 reoccurring daydreams. One's been on Desert Island Discs and one's taking a camera crew around Perry Bar, which is where I'm from. Yeah. So it's like, so I was like, yeah, I'd like to do it. And plus, well, as I was like the and finally of the election, and also there's a lot of stuff. YouTube's people with this time of instant fame and stuff like that, and I thought the way they pitched it to me was like, well, what happens afterwards to these people? Do you mean do people get the 15 minutes of fame? How does it affect them? So
because that's what it is, isn't it? It's the classic. You know what happens? You get the 15 minutes of fame that you weren't prepared for, you didn't necessarily ask for, and it's just there.
Yeah.
What does it do to you? Is that really what you wanted the film to look at then?
Absolutely, and I think Adam's case is a particularly interesting one. It had so many kind of issues inside it, and just seeing what Adam was doing afterwards, and he wrote the book. He was going back again to support Barack Obama in his second campaign, and all of this was just really interesting to kind of really show the story of someone who became an internet sensation and who is now, you know, he's gone back to a normal life. You know, he's been on the front page of all these papers. He's been on you know, national television in America, and you know, he's still here. He's still here.
Are you the proof that all publicity is good publicity?
I totally think all publicity is good publicity. Yeah. So it's I kind of realised pretty quickly after watching the video, it's either going to go 2 ways. You know what I mean? It's if I can understand how it could send people round the bend. You know what I mean? It's like I was watching myself thinking, please don't say anything too controversial. Now, people might think telling your bosses to F off and all that kind of thing was controversial, but I didn't think that was controversial. My girlfriend, the thing I was scared of most of having to tell my girlfriend at the time that I was saying about I was out chatting ladies up over there, but like she was brilliant at the time. But like, yeah, it was. But another weird thing is, I think it's a bit weird knowing you'll never top it. I mean, I'll never top being the am finally of probably, to me, one of the most fantastic nights in world history, and that was, and I had a part of it. It's easy to look back now and think, oh, Barack Obama, American president. At that moment, we didn't think he was going to win, or it wasn't given he was going to win. Just that night, I've got goose pimples just thinking about it now. So then I wrote a book about it, Obama and Me, the incredible true story of a YouTube sensation. I seem to be, it's like, that was like a cult classic. The film's a bit of a cult classic, do you mean? So I don't think I'm ever destined for like proper stardom.
when was the film made then?
The film was made in 2012, so we spent about 3 months just following Adam, following his book, following his various escapades that he gets up to in his days.
Because it shows you giving public talks, on the radio, all sorts of things.
But it appears that my life was a bit... which is a bit chaotic to say the use of a bit of a chaotic character anyway. But I think these guys had a bit of a problem editing, because suddenly I'd say, well, I'm off to Ecuador now. Doing what? I'm chasing pink dolphins. How are you doing that? Like, if you're going to build a narrative of a film, it doesn't help if somebody, the lead characters having all these different...
There's a lot to be said there, isn't there, for a film that's going off where you're not expecting it to go. Yeah. When you made it then, what was the plan for it?
There was no set plan, and I think that's because Adam's life doesn't really have a set plan most of the time. So I think that was what was so great about it, that we could just, that Adam let us into his life and we could follow him around, and I suppose the narrative kind of built around what happened in that time, and we started off with him giving speeches, talking about his book coming, and that seemed to be a good thing to follow, and it ends just nicely really with you heading back off to America for round 2.
Yeah. And where's the film being shown? Where's people?
Well, everyone can view it on YouTube now. We did do a run of trying to show it at festivals and getting it out there. I mean, that's kind of come to a close now, so really we just kind of want the story to get out there and people can watch it and just enjoy watching Adam. Really, he's a great guy to watch.
Because what I found important as well is that I didn't see that film until the premiere in Electric Cinema, and a lot of people said I was crazy, don't do it. But I thought, well, you know what, I'm a media professional. I know what I'm saying, even though you can easily be, and I trusted the guys anyway, because it could easily, I know it's easy to stitch somebody up, but then I trusted the guys, but also, and just seeing myself for the first time, and plus as a journalist, I don't want, if someone asked me how to if they could read my story before it's published, I'd take massive offence at that.
Absolutely.
So there's no way I can say that to the filmmakers, because it's their art.
So very quickly, it's called Obama and Me.
The Steve Zacheranda.
We can find it on YouTube.
Obama and Me, the Steve Zacheranda story. Yeah. There's a blog about it on stevezacheranda.com.
We'll be watching the next chapter carefully. Gents, thank you for coming in. Thanks so
you.
much. More movie news and reviews after the break. Welcome back. Now, a couple of weeks ago, local movie maker Mark Hevingham was here on the Brummywood sofa talking about a fan film which took him more than 15 years to make. It's called Blade Dummer and was a light-hearted homage to sci-fi classic Blade Runner. And what started as a short film turned into a full-length 2-hour feature. The movie got its premiere at Aldridge Community Cinema in front of a packed audience, raising hundreds of pounds for charity, including Macmillan Nurses. Here's how the evening panned out.
Big Sense TV. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for coming this evening to what is the world premiere of Blade Dummer. As you know, it's a fan film made in Birmingham by fans. This has been a big part of my life for about the last 20 years, and tonight is the culmination of a dream that I had of a 5-minute skit that's now become a 2-hour movie.
Calibre guest to get on the Brummywood Yammywood
£2,000. I hope you enjoy the film. Thank you very much.
Everest is the gripping story of an ill-fated attempt back in 1996 to scale the world's highest peak, just at the time that Mother Nature bared her sharpest teeth.
Come on, mate, come on! How you doing? I'm back.
Doug Hansen.
What do you do when you're not climbing, Doug?
I deliver the mail.
First mailman on Everest?
Hope so.
I like that.
I know there's a lot of mountaineering experience in this room. You wouldn't be here without it.
But Everest is the most dangerous place on Earth.
No belly dance.
How's the weather?
It's good.
I wish I was with you.
We'll all go climbing together next time, the three of us. What about your wife?
Oh, she's been fine with it ever since we divorced.
Good morning, people! If it isn't the mayor of base camp, sit down, man. Climatize.
Human beings simply aren't built to function at the cruising altitude of a 747. Our bodies will be literally dying. So the game is, can we get you up to the top, down to the bottom, before that happens? Steady yourself!
This is suffering, man. A few more days. The rest of your life, you'll be a guy that got to the top of Everest.
Rob, where are you?
I'm on the top of Everest, Helen.
Rob, pick up, mate. We got cloud coming up through the valley. It's a lot of it.
Oh, no. We got people stranded up there and storm is getting worse.
We got a problem. We're out of gas, Doug.
Just go.
No, I'm not leaving you behind. Come on.
I don't want to die, man.
Can you hear me? Rob? You've got to get moving.
Well, shot in 3D and IMAX, Everest is certainly not the greatest choice for folk with a fear of heights, but it's full of nerve-wracking suspense as one of the biggest A-list casts of the year battle to project their performances through some ferocious sub-zero shooting conditions. It's now showing across the region. Also new this weekend, and also loosely based on a true life story, is a film called A Walk in the Woods. This one stars Robert Redford as renowned travel writer Bill Bryson, who decides to walk the Appalachian Trail. Unexpectedly, Bryson's old travelling companion, brilliantly played by Nick Nolte, agrees to accompany him, and the two crotchety old men stuck their backpacks on and stride boldly forward.
Thank you for being here. It really means a lot.
It's our pleasure. I mean, it's not a pleasant time.
No, we're just very sorry.
We're very sorry.
I'm tired of life being all about ailments and funerals. I want to push myself.
You want to hike the Appalachian Trail?
2,000 miles. You have gone mad.
It's my old pup tent.
It's the perfect place for you to spend the night.
2,000 people a year try to do this. Less than 10% make it. Fit people in their 20s can't do it, Dad.
You'll need a rain cover, too.
Rain cover? Why?
To keep out the rain.
You are not doing this alone.
How would you like to join me for a little stroll?
Not in this lifetime. Next time, call me for something fun, like a colonoscopy.
Bryson, it's Katz. Stephen?
Not Stephen Katz. You two ended up on each other's nerves in Europe.
That was 40 years ago.
I gotta eat every hour, otherwise I get these,
seizures?
Seizures, that's right.
Good luck. Try not to die, okay?
We go?
We go. Look, what goes up must come down. What the hell happened to down?
John Muir once said, sometimes a man just has to get a loaf of bread and throw it into a sack and jump over the back fence.
You okay? Never better.
You guys camping here?
No, we live here.
How can I help you?
You like the cabin?
You know what your problem is? You're too fat.
Look at this. We're not even halfway there.
No way that's to scale.
Map to scale. That's it. New plan.
You want to drive the Appalachian Trail?
I came out here to be with you. One last adventure before it's too late.
You can do whatever you want, but this is my adventure.
Fine.
That's the spirit.
Kathy seems great, but one woman all these years?
Well,
that can't be good for you.
There is a time to shine.
You know, I'm sorry we lost touch.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus, if they come for us, play dead.
If theirs, if they come for us, we are dead.
Well, they say the Appalachian Trail's like life. You don't know what's going to happen next, but you give it your best shot.
As you can see from those clips, Robert Redford and Nick Nolte make a deliciously entertaining double act in this one. You can't help but laugh out loud at their bad-tempered exchanges and their misfortune. Now, I'll leave you this week with a film which prefers to play fast and loose with the history books. If you enjoy watching horrible histories, well, you'll probably want to check out Bill, which is a tongue-in-cheek production that repaints William Shakespeare as a dreamer who squanders his writing talents by deciding instead to join an Elizabethan boy band. Yes, really. We'll see you next week.
Classic.
Bill!
What?
Shakespeare. Bill Shakespeare. I've written a great work for the stage.
Oh my God.
London is not gonna know what hit it. You been before?
No, first time.
Ooh, it's nice. Don't steal anything.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I give you Queen Elizabeth.
Oof. Gentlemen, who would like to kill a queen? King Philip II of Spain. Yeah. Anyway, how are you? The Queen needs a play. Blah, 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 blah. Writing's hard.
My husband's written a play.
Bring him to me. We shall be most pleased to hear this play of yours, because you know what happens if we're displeased.
Is this it? Hello, I'm a man in a play. I am a woman also in a play. Talk about clunky exposition.
They plan to use the play to kill the Queen.
Hope you like bombs.
We have to save the Queen.
Cheeky.
The Shakespeare is smart.
I like this guy. He's got cojones.